Welcome back to the channel that helps you live longer, stronger, and more fulfilled, especially in your golden years. Today we're diving deep into one of the most powerful, science-backed approaches to longevity ever discovered, the Blue Zones diet. If you haven't heard of it yet, don't worry, we'll break it all down. And by the end of this video, you'll not only know what it is, but you'll have the tools to start eating in a way that could literally add 10 more vibrant years to your life. Yes, we're talking about real, documented lifestyle habits that help people live to 90, 100, and beyond. And it all begins with what's on your plate. So what exactly is the Blue Zones diet? The term Blue Zones refers to 5 regions in the world where people consistently live the longest, healthiest lives. These places include Okinawa in Japan, Sardinia in Italy, Nicoya Peninsula in Costa Rica, Ikaria in Greece, and Loma Linda in California. What's incredible is that despite their cultural differences, these communities all share key dietary patterns that researchers have linked to longer lifespans, lower disease rates, and greater well-being in old age. That's why today's video is so important, because it's not just about diet fads or the latest trends. It's about learning from the people who are actually doing it. Let's start with the foundation of the Blue Zones diet, plant-based eating. Across all 5 regions, people eat mostly whole, plant-based foods. Vegetables, fruits, legumes, and whole grains form the majority of their meals. Meat is eaten sparingly, often no more than once or twice a week. And when it is, it's usually from local, organic sources. In Sardinia, for instance, shepherds might eat goat or sheep, while in Okinawa, pork is reserved for special occasions. The rest of the time, it's beans, lentils, sweet potatoes, leafy greens, and other nutrient-rich staples. The takeaway? Make plants the center of your plate, not a side dish. Now let's talk about one of the real powerhouses in the Blue Zones: beans. In every Blue Zone, beans are consumed daily. Black beans in Nicoya, lentils and chickpeas in Ikaria, soybeans in Okinawa, they're all packed with protein, fiber, and minerals. What makes beans so special? For one, they stabilize blood sugar, improve gut health, and support heart function, all critical factors for aging well. Studies show that eating just a cup of beans a day can extend your life by up to 4 years. It's a simple switch with massive impact. Another key element: whole grains. People in Blue Zones don't avoid carbs. They just choose the right ones. Barley, brown rice, sourdough bread, and oats are regular parts of the diet. These grains are full of fiber, B vitamins, and slow-digesting carbs that keep energy levels steady. They're also filling, which helps prevent overeating. So if you've been scared off by carb-free diets, here's your permission to embrace the good grains. Just ditch the refined white flour and sugar and stick to the hearty, whole stuff. Let's move on to portion control, because it's not just what they eat, it's how they eat. In Okinawa, they follow the 80% rule. Stop eating when you're 80% full. This simple practice reduces calorie intake naturally and prevents the constant overload that stresses your digestive system. Meals are eaten slowly, often with family or friends, and food is respected and appreciated. No mindless snacking in front of a screen. No second helpings without thought. It's about quality over quantity. Now you might be wondering about dairy. In most Blue Zones, dairy isn't a major part of the diet, except in Sardinia and Ikaria, where they consume goats and sheep's milk products. These types of dairy are easier to digest and richer in certain nutrients than typical cow's milk. If you do choose to consume dairy, consider switching to these alternatives or enjoying fermented options like yogurt or kefir, which are better for your gut and immune system. And yes, there's room for indulgence. Wine, for example, is a common thread in several Blue Zones, especially Sardinia and Ikaria. But the key is moderation. A glass a day, usually enjoyed with a meal and friends, not binge drinking or using alcohol to cope with stress. The takeaway here isn't to start drinking, but rather to understand the role of ritual and community in how they eat and live. The social element is just as powerful as the food itself. Next, let's talk about sugar. Blue Zones communities don't consume large amounts of refined sugar. Instead, natural sweeteners like honey are used sparingly, and sugary treats are reserved for special occasions. Compare that with the average modern diet, where sugar is hidden in almost everything, from cereals to salad dressings. Cutting back on added sugars not only reduces your risk for diabetes and obesity, but it also improves brain health, which becomes even more important as we age. Speaking of aging well, did you know that people in blue zones rarely eat processed food? There are no frozen dinners or packaged snacks filled with preservatives and chemicals. Their meals are made from scratch, using ingredients from local gardens or markets. This alone drastically reduces exposure to harmful additives and increases nutrient intake. If you want to replicate this, start cooking more at home. It doesn't have to be fancy. A simple bean soup with vegetables and herbs can be a Blue Zones approved super meal. Let's also talk about how food fits into their lifestyle. In every Blue Zone, meals are often shared. Families eat together, neighbors cook for each other, and food is part of a larger community bond. This social connection helps reduce stress, improve mood, and create a sense of purpose. Something scientists say is just as important for longevity as any diet. So next time you eat, invite someone to join you. Make food an experience, not just fuel. Finally, remember this. The Blue Zones diet isn't about strict rules or deprivation. It's about embracing real food, slowing down, and connecting with others. It's about living in harmony with nature and respecting your body, and it's never too late to start. Even if you're 60, 70, or beyond, small changes in how you eat can have big effects. Replace one processed meal with a homemade veggie dish. Swap soda for herbal tea. Add beans to your soup or salad. Each choice is a step toward a longer, healthier life. Let's recap the core lessons of the Blue Zones diet. Eat mostly plants, especially beans and leafy greens. Choose whole grains over refined ones. Limit meat and dairy. Avoid processed foods and added sugars. Practice portion control. Cook at home more often, and share your meals with others. These habits don't just help you live longer, they help you feel better, think clearer, and age with grace. If this video inspired you to rethink your meals, hit the like button and subscribe for more science-backed tips to thrive after 60. And let us know in the comments, what's one change you're ready to make today to eat like the world's longest living people? Until next time, stay well, eat wisely, and live fully.